There is cause for optimism as we gather here.
It's 1 minute to midnight on that doomsday clock.
Time has quite literally run out.
Recent climate action announcements might give the impression that we are on track to turn things around. This is an illusion.
The challenge of combating climate change will be met by those who frankly are largely not in this room.
You all have the power here today to be better.
It will be our scientists, our technologists, our engineers, our entrepreneurs, our industrialists and our financiers.
These commitments made by some are based on technologies yet to be developed. And this is at best reckless and at worst dangerous.
Right now, we're still falling short.
Australia meets and beats our commitments.
There's no more time to hang back or sit on the fence or argue amongst ourselves.
What leaders do for their people today is government and politics.
The Australian way.
But what they do for the people of tomorrow, that is statesmanship.
We can work with who is ready to go because the train is ready to leave.
Our target of net zero emissions by 2050, we are committing to at this COP26.
All those promises will be nothing but blah, 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 unless we make this the moment when we get real about climate change.
The generation to come will look at this conference and consider one thing. Did that number stop rising?
For those who have eyes to see, for those who have ears to listen, and for those who have a heart to feel, 1.5 is what we need to survive.
You don't need my pain or my tears to know that we're in a crisis.
Enough of brutalizing biodiversity. Enough of treating nature like a toilet. Enough of burning and drilling and mining our way deeper. We are digging our own graves.
In my lifetime, I've witnessed a terrible decline. In yours, you could and should witness a wonderful recovery. That desperate hope, ladies and gentlemen, is why the world is looking to you and why you are here. Thank you.
Climate Council Chief Professor Tim Flannery is in Glasgow for COP26, his sixth one of these climate conferences, and joins us now. Professor, you've seen a lot of these. There seem to be some powerful stuff in that package that we were just showing. Overall, as you listen to these speeches, were you optimistic?
Look, Waleed, it's a critically important conference, as has been made clear, but I'm not yet optimistic about the outcome we need. We simply don't have the numbers yet to see the reductions that are required for our survival. And it's quite surreal to sit here and see people edge around the point and not actually get to the guts of things, which is the burning of fossil fuels. And the leaders that are not addressing that issue simply are not addressing climate change.
Professor Scott Morrison did announce an extra $500 million for Pacific countries to help fight climate change. Does he deserve some credit for this?
Well, look, that's a good thing, but it's not addressing climate change. We need to reduce our emissions from the burning of fossil fuels by 8% year on year out to 2030 in order to do that. So there's been some good things, but they are way away from what we need to secure our future.
One of the things that's interesting about that payment, though, is that the developing world, so places like India, China, they've kind of been arguing we can't really reduce our fossil fuel dependence. We can't really reduce our emissions because we're coming out of poverty. And so the way to deal with that is down payment. You basically give us a hell of a lot of money and then maybe we can make the transition. Do you think the world has done enough on that? Like, has it upheld its end of the bargain on that exchange?
Look, there is some merit to that argument from developing countries, and I think that payment is important. Australia's commitment, though, to that payment is about a tenth of what we need to be doing, what our share of the world's payment to reach that 100 billion is. So, yes, it's good, but it's miserly at the moment, and I guess like most of our commitment at this COP has been insufficient to do the job we all knows to be done.
Professor, this isn't about fossil fuels either, but there's a major deal expected tonight. More than 100 countries promising to sign a pledge to stop deforestation by 2030. Surely that's a good start?
that is, if we see that pledge honoured, that will be great. But it won't be sufficient to save us from catastrophic climate change, as I keep saying. You know, 3/4 of all of the emissions are coming from the burning of fossil fuels. It's fantastic for biodiversity to have those forests protected, but we need to do more.
Tim, thanks so much for sparing some time for us tonight. Appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.